Welcome to the Raise Your Energy podcast. My name is 𝗩𝗚𝗗𝗘𝗢 and I'm your energy and emotion expert. If you are tired of feeling guilty and ashamed, then this episode is for you. After this episode, you will know everything there is to know about guilt and shame to be able to assess if it's worth keeping it in your life or not. Sounds good to you? Okay, let's begin. Why do I want to talk about guilt and shame? Well, first of all, because they are the lowest vibrating emotions that we can feel. And that gives it reason enough to give it some space and time. Emotions are energy in motion. Emotions are energy in motion. And because they are energy, they have a measurable frequency. What you see here on this emotional vibration chart are the frequency of a selection of common emotions and their frequency levels. As you can see, enlightenment, peace and joy are very high frequency emotions. Next we have love, reason and acceptance, followed by willingness, neutrality and courage. This is where we are now in the middle ground of emotions. And then when we move further down, we have now pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, and apathy. And last but not least, we have guilt and shame. You might ask now, Linda, what does this all mean? Why would I want to care about the frequency of emotions? Well, if you care about your energy levels, aka the amount of energy that you have available to live your life, then you want to care about the vibration of your emotions. Very simplified and in a nutshell, low vibrational emotions means lower energy levels and less energy available to you. Higher vibrational emotions means higher energy levels and more energy available to live your everyday life. I have a long history with the emotions of guilt and shame. Only recently have I discovered that I'm subconsciously addicted to feeling shame and making myself feel guilty. I would use nearly every situation or circumstance in my life to feel ashamed. So my addiction to these low vibrating emotions get its fix. But now, not anymore. I am getting out of that pattern now. For me, such a realization is not a threat or a worry. It's an enlightenment. It's a revelation and a win to discover it, because then I can do something about it. Feeling guilty and ashamed is so energy robbing and dysfunctional to the flow of life and your life energy. And that's why these two emotions are a huge topic for me. I wanted to do this episode to help you make the same or a similar realization if you struggle with guilt and shame in your life. I just had a friend asking himself this week if he was guilty of causing a difficult situation within his family. And I immediately had to jump in and share with him my thoughts about guilt. And what I shared with him resonated and made him stop looking at the situation like that. And that gave me the idea to create this episode so I can help you too. Before I share my perspective on guilt and shame, let's briefly get to know these two emotions a little bit better, shall we? We learned already that they are very low in vibration and therefore very low in life energy. They are among the most painful human emotions we can experience. Like with everything else, in small doses, they are not truly harmful. They are just on the spectrum of emotions we have at our disposal to feel. But if we spend a lot of our time and energy on feeling guilty and ashamed, that's where it can cause harm. A life filled with guilt and shame can lead to mental and physical illnesses. And even if it doesn't, it has a direct impact on the energy that you have available to enjoy your life, do what your heart desires, and spend quality time with your loved ones, right? The difference between these two emotions for me is that guilt comes first when I perceive that I have done something wrong, but nobody else knows yet or might actually never know. Shame is a step further. I now feel ashamed for something because others are aware of it or I was found out. For example, I can feel guilty for having taken the last piece of chocolate cake that I didn't even bake. If no one really realizes or finds me out, I probably stop feeling guilty pretty soon. But if I get found out and someone calls me out on it, in addition to the guilt, I feel now as well ashamed. I feel shame about my behavior and not having been honest before. So for me, shame is more harmful than guilt, which the emotional vibration chart of course confirms, as shame is even lower in vibration than guilt. Now, let's come to what I think about guilt and shame, and why it helps me to look at it that way. The feeling of guilt or shame is a human-created construct designed to control and make us behave better. No other life form out there feels guilt or shame. Only humans feel guilt and shame. Only humans are capable of creating the perfect human in their minds, and based on that creation, we create societal norms and expectations. And then humans spend the rest of their lives trying to live up to that norm and expectation of that perfect human construct. And if we don't live up to it, we feel guilty and ashamed. But no other life form cares about made-up norms and expectations of society or others. A dog does not think each day if their owner is worthy to be loved or not. No, it loves its owner unconditionally. A lion is not considering which zebra to chase based on their former behavior, but rather which one is the closest or looks the weakest. A bird sitting on a branch does not worry if it's allowed to fly over to another branch over there. It just flies over to the other branch. A lot of people believe that guilt or shame stops them from doing something bad or harming someone else. And so it's a really great selling point to have guilt and shame in our lives. If I just feel guilty enough, I will never do a bad thing. It's going to keep me in control of myself, when in actuality it doesn't do it at all. It doesn't prevent it, and let me show you why. There are people out there that commit crimes who feel guilty during the act and or after the act. And then you have people who feel zero guilt about what they've done or while they're doing it. Guilt isn't the factor that prevents them from committing the crime. Guilt didn't stop them. So why would it stop you from doing anything right or wrong? In some cases, guilt very much contributes to it. Often it is guilt or shame that keeps someone in this vicious cycle of doing something that they don't desire to be doing. They are giving that behavior so much attention and energy that they keep it alive. The emotions of guilt and shame keep them stuck in that perpetual cycle. What you focus on expands. Where you put your attention, your energy goes. The more you focus on a behavior that you feel guilty about, the more energy you give it and the more likely you repeat it. Guilt is one of those things that ties us to the past, wanting to change the past about something that we did or that we think we shouldn't have done. But it's not possible. You can't change the past. So keeping the feeling of guilt and shame alive for a long time does not change the past. It just keeps it alive in the present moment. So, the next time you catch yourself feeling guilty or ashamed, ask yourself if these emotions are truly warranted. Do they serve a purpose? Or are you stuck in a cycle of thinking and feeling about guilt and shame? I have lots of podcast episodes on how to change a thought, a belief, or your emotions. So check those out if you want to change your cycling of guilt and shame. And if you're looking for more support in overcoming these cycles of guilt and shame, then join the waitlist for my new program launching in January next year. You will learn how to release more energy back into your life and how to process and transmute low vibrating emotions like guilt and shame that you feel stuck with. The link to the waitlist for the Energy Academy launching in January is below this video. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave me a thumbs up if you like this video. And with that, I love you and leave you. Talk soon and bye bye.